In a quarter of a mile, turn right on Georiga Road.
So welcome to Georgia. That's where I kind of landed. Really excited after the move. It's been a few bumps.
Turn right on Georiga Road.
Me and Steve Harvey gonna have to have that conversation about that jump, because I'm gonna need this parachute to open up at some point. In between this navigation to see if I can give me a job at a med spa or figure out how I'm gonna handle my licensing, I am a Shipt shopper. I've been a Shipt shopper
In
for
half a
about
mile, turn left
4
to
years.
I-75 North.
Probably about 4 years. I really want to say maybe about 5, but I want to safely say 4 years. It's a really good detoxing job. Now, I kind of drive through the country because I don't live in a
In
major
1,000
city.
feet, turn left.
I live outside of Macon, which was the area I chose to live in that was affordable. And so
Turn left to I-75 North.
I do Shipt deliveries in a town that's right at the outskirts of Atlanta. And it has been a safety net for me for about 5 years, because if nothing else, it guarantees you can feed your kids. But anyway, so what's next? Now that you've landed on your feet, like, what do you do next? What's next is being your best self, being who you are, being gracious, finding out that you're braver than who you are, too. Living in a really small town,
Continue straight for 10 minutes to exit 233, State Route 54,
as opposed to
Morrow,
a big city has really changed also who I am. And I'm sure I could survive in a larger city also. I think pretty quick on my feet. When you're a woman with children and you're trying to build and grow, especially coming out of divorce, self-sufficiency is a really big thing. Trying to figure out how to be sustainable with childcare and how to, oh my God, the weather is really gloomy going down this way. Sustainable, it's like the Wicked Witch of the West. And just in prayer and trying not to lose who you are and lose your momentum. There's a couple of things I try to keep in tow: a gym membership or a treadmill, and I have both. My Amazon Prime membership, which is probably slightly vain, but there are things for kids that you can get on a moment's notice that you may not be able to get anywhere else. Oh my God, the weather is so awful. Going this direction, I can see it. Wow. I'm like Mr. Magoo driving. That's the name I've coined myself. Definitely Mr. Magoo. Especially in rain. just like figuring out as a woman with children, I don't have a bachelor's degree. I am in the middle of pursuit of, probably could have been finished, but COVID has been the interruption of the everything. And so currently I have my esthetician, I have some other things, like I said, I'm going to pursue for the Botox. And then I'm going to finish up my merchandising, which is important to me because above anything else, product sales and skincare sales is my meat and potatoes. I've been doing it a very long time. Coming up, we're really going to just start digging deep and diving deep into this journey of putting things together and building together, and what is it going to be going forward? Because I know that there are a lot of women out there, especially coming out of COVID, where some of us have gotten beaten to death with loss and transformation and restructuring. What I have learned about failure, because that conversation is always talked about when you're listening to millionaires and people who have been very successful in whatever field they're in. You really do have to get those failures. It is imperative. If you don't take the losses, you really won't know how to win. And if you're looking at my hair and going, oh my God, she's wearing the ugliest natural hairstyle on the planet, it currently probably is. It's in a really weird in-between stage, and like I've said the past couple of episodes, I got to figure out what I'm going to do with it. Oh my Lord, this weather is really awful. Oh my God. And then people do dumb shit like that. Anyway, life is but a dream. I have learned that. To coin the Beyonce documentary, it really is. Because in life, you see a lot of people's successes. Facebook, Instagram. You see the perception. But you really don't see the pitfalls. And if you don't learn to enjoy the pitfalls in between those successes, life is going to be really rough for you. And that is a learned behavior. You either learn it as a kid or you learn it as an adult, or you don't learn it at all. New haircuts, a restaurant you fell in love with, a milkshake, that Shamrock Shake from McDonald's. Oh my God, it isn't March yet, but I appreciate that. And I had a friend turn me on to that. I didn't think I was gonna like it, and she was like, no, it's because you've never had it. And then I fell in love with it. I was like, oh my God, this is like, it was like a spa in a cup for, the 20 minutes you're enjoying it. So, really enjoying what things are. In spite of what things may look like. Because what things are today in about 3 weeks to a month, maybe 6 months, it's going to look completely different. And so if you let yourself fold and fall apart before you even get to that, you got to find the happy medium. You got to find the joy. The joy. And joy is very hard to find if you don't, in my opinion, if you don't know who God is and if you don't know who you are. And if you're not asking the universe for what you want, because you really have to do that. You really have to say to the universe, I really need this. Like, that's stepping out with intention. I'm in an area currently shopping. I have never been before a day in my life. A day in my life. But I am so intentional and resourceful that, you know, I was processing some orders, and there was some other Shipt shoppers there with me today. And as I was processing my second order out, they were stranded at the register. And this is their area. I don't know anything about this store. And I thought, what's happening? And what they said to me was that the app had crashed. And it had. For a minute, for almost like an hour, it wouldn't, you know, and that's technology. I quickly cut on the Target guest internet, which I never would do on an average day. But what it did was reset the app for me so that I could complete what I needed to complete and get the hell out of there, and they were still standing. And by the time they realized they could do that, it was like a light bulb had gone off, and I thought, wow, okay, I'm shopping in an area I've never been before. Now I can say I've been here. I like to travel. I like road trips. I like to be useful. And so, you know, when I came here today, I didn't let it overwhelm me. My thought was, until I find this job that I'm really, really wanting, which I've applied to a few med spas. I just got to get my hair in order so that I look like I belong at a med spa. But what I told the universe was, look, I'm going to find the first city before I hit Atlanta, or right at Atlanta, which I did. I need a couple of orders, preferably 2 at a time. Like, I could see myself, and, you know, there were no orders available until I pulled up, and bam, bam, there was 3. Somebody got 1, and I got the other 2, and I thought, well, this is it. And so I'm out to delivery, and life is a matter of perception, and whatever you want it to be, it will be. And as much as you hear people say that, I remember I was at a networking event, and I was just like, not in a good place. And I can remember kind of begrudgingly being there because I had been placed at a table with some people that were far older than I was. And I remember looking around the room with some younger demographics and thinking, well, I would have loved to have sat at that table. I don't know how I ended up at this table. And I've told this story a couple of times. It's it needs to be told now in a different light. And I can remember a lady that sat next to me, and the concept of this was that you weren't supposed to know anybody at the table. But this elderly couple that came in clearly knew each other and tried to sit separate from each other and pretend like they didn't, and it really pissed me off. Because my thought was, I could sit at a table with the younger demographic and swap out one of the older ladies or older gentlemen to sit at this table so they didn't have to pretend. You know, that wasn't what the activity was supposed to be. So I was doubly pissed.
Exit right to exit 233. State Route 54.
And so just remembering how pissed I was at that moment at this couple and at this arrangement. And the lady leaned over at me and was like, I want you to know, I guess she could feel my energy, that happiness is a choice. And I swear to God, I want to snatch that lady's head off. Like, if you don't get away from me, your husband is going to have to put you back together as the two of you pretend not to know each other. And to this day, I can remember the energy that I felt in that room at that moment, at the beginning. But as I let the evening process and I listened to the speakers speak, and this was a motivational networking event. There was a Disney song that was quoted. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are. Anything your heart desires will come to you. And I know everybody knows that song. Everybody but everybody who's ever seen an old Disney movie, an old Disney film, you goddamn know that song. Oh shit, I think I got it from the wrong exit. But anyway, or maybe not. That was so powerful, it stuck with me. When you wish upon a star, makes no difference who you are.
900 feet. Turn left on State Route 54.
I think when we get older and life gets the better of us, we forget how to dream and what our dreams are. And sometimes the dream changes as we grow and we elevate and we meet people and we've done some things.
Turn left on State Route 54.
Life is really but a dream. It's really but a dream. And so as I'm working on my second book, How to Be Happy Right Where You Are, it's the second edition.
In a quarter of a mile.
I was pretty proud of the first edition because the first edition was, you know, but this second edition has a different element to it. It's the hardship, it's the dream, the sacrifice. My kids are a lot older now. I've gone through some things. It's the divorce. It's all of that. So you don't lose who you are. You don't lose your mind. You don't lose. And coming out of a pandemic, I think a lot of people have lost their goddamn minds. National prayer for people who have gone through hell in the pandemic, who have lost, who are trying to recuperate, who are trying to, wow. Heavenly Father, just carry for those who cannot carry themselves. Hug those who cannot hug themselves. In spite of, let me just say, if you were somebody who bought a home, who got a car, who got a new job, who got a new start, who packed up and moved, who was able to do all of those things in a pandemic, you know, kudos to you, like for real. And for those of us who were saddened and lost loved ones and lost children and who were sick and who had sick ones and who planned funerals and who were evicted, who lost their homes, who lost mortgages.
Turn left on Morrow Road.
My deepest prayer, my deepest empathy for those who lost. And so I kind of want to close with that. Life is genuinely but a dream. And I'm out.